Hello everyone, I am Pratap here. We are at lesson 7 examples video. It is about zone freshness and zone achievement. I already explained this lesson in detail in the training videos related to supply demand zone price action course. If this is your first visit to our channel, please note we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. All the training lessons are already available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. So at our channel homepage, you please click on the tab playlist. Here you have two important playlists. One is supply demand zone price action course. Here you have all the theoretical concepts with some examples are available in this playlist. And here we have a new playlist examples related to supply demand zone price action. We have more examples related to Forex market, commodity market, bullion market, crypto market. So several examples I am providing for different markets, even indices, Nasdaq, Nifty, Bank Nifty. Some of the examples I am providing in this playlist for each of the lessons you learned in supply demand zone price action course. To access all the lessons, you just click on the view full playlist. Here you have lessons up to lesson 30 are available. You just scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons are placed in an order. So currently I am explaining the examples related to lesson 7, zone freshness and zone achievement. Complete all the earlier lessons. For each lesson, the examples in the examples playlist are available. Complete lesson 1.1, go to examples playlist, complete again lesson 1.1 examples. After that, go to lesson 1.2, complete this lesson. After that, you go to examples playlist, again complete lesson 1.2 examples. In that way, you complete all the training lessons up to lesson 7. And then you get into lesson 7 examples video. Okay, what we already learned in lesson 7, let me quickly summarize for the benefit of the members who already learned lesson 7 video. So the summary, a fresh zone is called as a valid zone and it is a tradable zone. What is a fresh zone? I explained in detail. And a tested zone is a valid zone, but not recommended for trading because there are higher chances of this zone violation next time prices entered in the zone. But a tested zone is a tradable zone only in some special zones like high liquidity zones. What is this high liquidity zone? That concept I explained in lesson 21. All the details related to high liquidity zones I explained. And some types of high liquidity zones again I explained in lesson 25. So once you learn, you will understand better about high liquidity zones. But before that, until that you remember, once a zone is a tested zone, it is not recommended for trading. Next, pierced zone. It is an invalid zone and it should not be used for trading. But still you can use pierced zone for trading purpose based on pierced zone strategy that I explained in lesson 28. It is a new strategy I developed. And pierced zone is a new concept I developed. Okay, fourth type you learned, a violated zone is an invalid zone and it should be removed from our charts. It can't be used for trading purpose. Okay, next, a zone having the achievement as a violated opposing zone. VOZ means violated opposing zone is a tradable zone. We will see all the examples. And a zone is having an achievement violated opposing pivot is also a tradable zone, but the risk is very, very high. Always we prefer a zone having achievement violated opposing zone. And the last point, a zone not having any achievement is an uncertain zone. It may work, it may not work for trading purpose. That's why we are saying uncertainty. Any 50% probability is uncertainty. Our decision making is very difficult. That's why it's better to avoid trading in these zones. We are not recommending. We are not saying the trades don't work. They may work, but it is uncertainty for our decision making point of view. Okay, let me give you some examples also how these zones will behave. It may work, sometimes it may not work. When you don't have clarity, you can't take a decision. This is the summary of what you learned in lesson 7. You understand the summary points only if you complete lesson 7. Otherwise, it is like a Greek and Latin for all these points. Don't think that by learning these points, you can understand everything. It is just a summary of what you already learned in lesson 7. Now, let's get into the examples. Okay, first I am taking Nasdaq. We have beautiful examples here to explain those concepts. What I do, I start analyzing the chart from this candle onwards. In TradingView, there is a concept called replay bar. I will use that facility. That means I am removing all the candles. So up to this candle, this is on 11th August 2025. Did you notice what kind of candle it is? It is a medium size candle, body more than 75%. Definitely, this is a leg candle. What about this candle? This is also a medium size candle and its body is less than 50%. So definitely this is a base candle. Now let's see what happened after this. So now we are moving to the next candle. Did you notice? This is a large candle. Medium size candle, but this is a large candle. Because it is a large candle, this can be used as a leg out candle. So here you have a leg in candle, you have one base candle, and then you have a leg out candle. Now I am drawing a zone here. What kind of zone it is? Demand zone. Rally, base, rally is a demand zone. Okay. Is it having any zone achievement? Either while creating this candle, while creating the leg out, or even it could be after leg out. What is zone achievement? Its opposite side zone should be violated. Let's check. There are no opposite side zones. This is at the all-time high. Rally, base, rally, all-time high. No supply zones. Such kind of zone, trading purpose is an uncertain zone. Because it is not having any zone. It may work or it may not work. Chances are 50-50. Now let's see what happened in the next candle. Okay, next, what kind of achievement it is having? I mean, what kind of strength it is having? A leg out, do you have follow through candle? No, it is not having a follow through candle. Is it sluggish? No. It is having not follow through candle. After that you have a base candle, further moved up. So definitely zone achievement is, not zone achievement, zone strength. Yesterday in the previous lesson, lesson 6.2, you learned strength. The strength is good. A zone not having follow through candle, strength is good. Follow through candle, strength is excellent. If strength is good, it is a tradable zone. And base candles less than 3, less than or equals to 3, only one is there. So it is a zone, base candle count excellent. So it is a tradable zone. Zone strength point of view, tradable zone. But zone achievement point of view, it is not a tradable zone. It is not having any zone achievement. How can we say it is not having any achievement? Because there is no opposite side supply zone is not there, and the supply zone order flow completely it should consume. Let us assume there is opposite side supply zone is there. And after this zone, the entire supply in that supply zone is consumed and further prices moved and the zone is violated because all the order flows are consumed, supply zone is violated. And who is the reason for that? This demand zone. This demand zone is having a stronger institutional buy orders. and further it spreaded the orders and consumed all the supply. That's why we assume this zone is having a zone achievement. But unfortunately, this demand zone is not having any achievement because there are no supply zones here. This is at all-time high moreover. So a lot of uncertainty. We never know how strong this order flow. Is it having a very strong order flows or it is having weak order flows? We never know. Because maybe strength is good. Maybe base candle count is in our favor, but still zone achievement is not there. Without zone achievement, you should not plan a trade. Zone achievement should always be violated opposing zone. Violating opposing pivot is also a risky one. That's why I always preferred go for only violated opposing zone. If a zone is not having violated opposing zone achievement, better you avoid the trade. But you can take exception from high liquidity zones. Because you will be learning, that is an advanced concept, you will be learning only at lesson 21. Until you learn lesson 21, you don't think about high liquidity zones. But why I am telling this point, any concept, some exceptions will be there. That is what you should understand. Any concept, 100% you can't take it as a granted. Only exceptional scenarios, these concepts won't work. So that's why, other than high liquidity zone, any zone without having zone achievement is high risky to take the trade. As of now, you didn't learn anything about high liquidity zones. If you are learning this lesson first time. Okay, anyway, rally base rally, we have a zone, having a zone strength without follow through is a good zone, but zone achievement is not there. Definitely it is not a tradable zone. Okay, fine. Next, what happened after that? Let us see. Now, prices are again coming down. One more base candle. Already 2 base candles are created. Let us see further what happened. One more base candle. 3 base candles are created. Next candle, again 4 base candles are created. Now you observe what is happening. Now a drop candle is created. That means what happened? Here a zone is created, a new zone, which is on supply zone. Rally candle, 1, 2, 3, 4 base candles, and then a drop candle. While creating this zone, what happened? This entire demand zone is violated. Why so easily it is violated? Because this demand zone is not having any zone achievement. If a zone is not having an achievement, it is not a tradable zone. Lot of uncertainty. There are some 50% chances are there for the zone violation. That is what happened here. See, we didn't plan any trade here. But we got a new supply zone. What kind of supply zone we got? Let us analyze. First, let me draw the supply zone. Let me change the color. Okay. Always we give, as I explained in lesson 9.1 video. Lesson 9.1, how to draw demand zone and supply zones in trading view, I explained. I also suggested you in lesson 5 also. Lesson 5 examples video, I suggested you should complete lesson 9.1 for drawing demand and supply zones. If anybody ignored lesson 5, the point I explained, first complete lesson 9.1. Learn how to draw demand and supply zones. Okay, anyway, we have a supply zone here. What this supply zone has done? This supply zone completely consumed all the buy orders in the demand zone. And that way this zone is called violated zone. What is the point you learned? Violated zones? A zone having here. A violated zone is an invalid zone and it should be removed from the charts. So this zone should be removed from the charts. Why? Because this is not a valid zone at all for planning the trades. Okay, fine. Before removing, what is that I should explain you? Because this entire order flow is consumed by this supply zone. He is the responsible. This supply zone is the responsible. Maybe during the leg out creation or even after suppose the leg out is not violated, next candle is violated. Still this zone will get the zone achievement. Maybe not a next candle, even after 2 candles this zone is violated. Even then, whenever, see the immediate supply zone, if this demand zone is violated, immediately what is its immediate supply zone? This is the one that automatically gets the zone achievement. What kind of zone achievement? VOZ. What is VOZ abbreviation? Violated opposing zone. That means its opposite side zone is violated. For that violation, this is the one responsible. That's why it gets an achievement. That indicates the order flows in this zone could be much stronger. Okay, if the order flows are much stronger, what will happen? Next time prices entering into this zone, there are higher chances this zone will push the prices down and it will give us good profit. See here? But only based on the zone achievement we have to take a decision? No. The other concepts also should support what you already learned. What is that you learned? This zone should have tradable base candles. Less than 6, less than or equals to 6 is a tradable zone. Because 4 candles are there, it is a good zone. Less than or equals to 3, it is an excellent zone. It is a good zone. Good zone is a tradable zone. Fine. Next, what about strength of the zone? Next candle will tell you the strength of this zone. So let's move on to the next candle. See, this is also a large candle, but failed ERC, but large candle. So it is having a follow-through candle. This zone is having a follow-through candle. So that's why zone strength is also excellent. See, now you see, this is having 4 base candles, so it is a good zone for trading purpose. And it is having a follow-through candle, so it is a good, excellent zone for trading purpose. What is the third point? This zone is having zone achievement. See here, it got, by violating this demand zone, this supply zone got the zone achievement. Which achievement? VOZ achievement, violated opposing zone achievement. What does it mean? It is a tradable zone. See, all points so far they are supporting us for the tradable zone. And there is one more fourth point also there. It is a fresh zone. Is it tested so far? No. Prices haven't retraced into this zone. If prices are retraced into the zone, then the zone is a tested zone. Tested zone, once it is tested, after that it can't be tradable. But is it a tested zone? No. It is a fresh zone. Fresh zones are always tradable zones if other points also supporting. Because it is a fresh zone, definitely we can plan. See, all are in favor to us. When next time prices enter into this zone. Okay, now let's see what is happening. Now prices are again started moving up. Okay, price just entered, or maybe let's wait for one more candle. See, now prices entered into this zone. The moment it enter, maybe somewhere here, wherever you plan, you can trade the zone. Let us assume here it didn't enter. Maybe if it is entered, you would have taken a trade here. That means by the time prices enter, you are already in trade. Or any risk management point of view, if you plan the trade a little inside, probably in this candle you will get the trade, whatever it is. Okay, now it is tested zone. Now freshness, earlier zone is a fresh zone. Now the freshness is changed to tested zone. But you already took the trade. Next time prices go down and again come back, then you won't be taking the trade because it is a tested zone. But before this candle, it is a fresh zone. Once prices entered, you took the trade. After you took the trade, now the freshness of the zone is changed to tested zone. But now you are already in the trade now. Now what is going to happen? Further it will go up and this zone will be violated. Because all the parameters are in our favor. Is it going to give us a very good trade? Let us check. Because all parameters are in our favor when we took the trade. It is having zone achievement. And its strength is excellent, good. Strength is excellent. And its base candle count is good. And also first time it is tested, we took the trade. Once we took the trade, the freshness is changed to tested zone. Why? Because it is already into the zone. So first time prices enter into the zone, whether you take the trade or not. But first time prices enter into the zone, then the freshness zone, freshness is changed to tested zone. Okay, now we are in the trade. What is going to happen? Let's get into the next candles. See, now from this supply zone, sell orders pushed the prices down. And further came down. After that started moving. Why here a new zone is created? Failed ERC candle as a leg-in, you have a base candle, you have a rally candle. That means you have a zone like this. Which zone? Demand zone. But this zone we have to remove from the chart. So I am removing. Why I kept till now? Because I want to explain the supply zone got a zone achievement because of violation of this rally base rally. It has been violated by this supply zone. That's why supply zone got the zone achievement and then it became a tradable zone. Because it is a tradable zone, we took a short trade in this area. After the short trade, prices again came down until this demand zone. And this demand zone again gave an entry, right? But what kind of demand zone? It is a demand zone having good strength and having excellent base candle count. And also until this candle entered here, it is a fresh zone. Now it is tested in this candle. Until then fresh. So can we plan a trade, long trade here? No, you cannot plan a trade. Why? Because this demand zone is not having any zone achievement. If it is not having a zone achievement, is it going to violate? That means zone will be violated? No, it need not be. 50-50. It may work or it may fail. See, earlier it failed. Rally base, rally failed. This time maybe it may fail or it may work. Anything happen, we don't have any clarity. That is called uncertainty. When uncertainty is there, better avoid the trade. Maybe sometime it is successful, you should not feel bad. Because sometimes it may fail also, right? In this example, it failed. If you would have taken a trade, you would have got a loss in this rally-based rally. That's why you don't prefer because of uncertainty. If it is a high liquidity zone, you would have taken a trade, but those concepts you will understand only in lesson 21 because they are the most advanced concepts. But as of now, this zone is, you don't have any certainty. Because of uncertainty, you avoid planning a trade. Because it is not having any zone achievement so far. Later it may get. Suppose if the supply is violated, if this demand zone is responsible, then it may get a zone violation. But at this point of time, it doesn't have any zone achievement. At this point of time, it doesn't have a zone achievement. You can't plan a trade. But what happened next? Let us see. Now see, all of a sudden prices started moving. Now entered into this zone. Can we plan a trade? No. Why? Because it is a tested zone. Even though it is having a zone achievement, but it is already tested once. Second time testing is quite risky. There are higher chances zone might be violated. Is it so? Let us see. See here in this candle what happened? Prices moved up and then came down and closed inside the zone. It consumed all the order flows. Now what kind of zone it is? Now you tell me what kind of zone it is. Is it a violated zone? No. Because prices came back and again closed inside the zone. It is called as a pierced zone. Is pierced zone is a tradable zone? No. But we have a special strategy I developed in lesson 28. I explained. As per that strategy, any clues are there. At the time you can plan trade, but not now. Only a fresh zone only you have to plan a trade. Okay, but it is a pierced zone. Hope you understand what is a pierced zone. Prices moved up. All orders are consumed. But at the time of closing this candle, again prices came back and closed inside the zone, or maybe further go below this zone and close, but not above the zone, because this is supply zone. So this is a pierced zone. How long it will be pierced? Until one of the candles in the future candles close outside the zone. Until then, this is maintaining the status pierced zone. Let us see what is happening in the next candle. Okay, here also price closed just inside the zone. Still it is a pierced zone. Next candle. Now you see in this candle, finally prices closed outside the zone. Now this entire supply zone is violated. Because this entire supply zone is violated and there are no more demand zones in between. You may say, can I draw rally, base, rally here? No. In lesson 9.3 and 9.4, I explained a concept called hidden body and a hidden zone concept. As per that concept, this candle is not a base candle. This is also a rally candle because of the gap. You will be learning in lesson 9.3 and 9.4 videos. 9.3, 9.4 are practical sessions in our training program. In those practical sessions, I explained an excellent concept, hidden body and hidden zones concept. So due to that reason, we don't have any zones. This is a rally candle, another rally candle, another rally candle. This is a drop candle. Now here we have a base. By the time already the zone is already violated. The moment the zone is pierced, once a zone is pierced or violated, either scenarios, both the scenarios, its opposite side zone will get a zone achievement as a violated opposing zone. Now this zone, this demand zone, got an achievement as a violated opposing zone, because this demand zone is responsible for the violation of the supply zone. That way it got the zone achievement. Because it got the zone achievement, next time prices enter into the zone, can we plan a trade? No. Why? Because it is already a tested zone. A tested zone, planning a trade is risky. Unless it is a high liquidity zone, you cannot plan the trade. Time being, you did not land high liquidity zones, you will be treating this zone as a tested zone. Once a zone is tested, you can't plan a trade. Even though it got the zone achievement. Unfortunately, it got the zone achievement a little late. We missed this good trade. You might have said we would have taken a trade, but the same rule if you apply, rally base rally, if you would have taken a trade, your zone is violated and you would have, your stop loss is hit, you would have got a loss here. But we avoided the loss, right? Here you missed the trade, but you didn't get any loss, remember. So that's why when uncertainty is there, you should not take any trade. Maybe it may give you a good trade or it may give you a loss. You should strictly follow the rules. That's it. Only thing we can say, okay, demand zone concept worked excellently. Prices moved up. But trade you didn't plan because some of the conditions did not satisfy, so that you don't have confirmation to plan the trade. You got it. See after that how prices further moved up. This is today's candle. Many of us think, okay, we would have taken a trade, huge profit we got. Because price action is complete, you will think like that. But really when prices reached, you never know prices will go up or this will be violated, you never know. Only our rules only will confirm whether to take the trade or not. Because our rule did not confirm, we missed this trade. But here you see, our rules are confirmed. That's why it gave a good profit from here to here. Okay, see, second time we did not take a trade because it is a tested zone. Second time we did not plan. Because we did not plan, We escaped from the loss. Do you agree? People who would have taken second trade, they would have got loss from this zone. But we escaped from that loss. This is the advantage of zone freshness and zone achievement concepts. Zone freshness will tell you whether this zone is a fresh zone, or it is a tested zone, or it is a pierced zone, or it is a violated zone. See, this zone actually shown everything for us, the supply zone. Before prices entered in this candle, this zone is a fresh zone. But in this candle, this zone is a tested zone. But in this candle, this zone is a pierced zone. In this candle, this zone is a completely violated zone, and no more this zone you keep on the charts, and you will delete after this candle. But what about this? Still it is valid. That's why you are keeping. But anyway, we can't take a trade. Why are you keeping, you may ask? Because it is a valid zone. Valid zones always we keep on the charts. Valid zones means, it doesn't mean they are tradable zones. Please remember, tradable zone is different, valid zone is different. Valid zone means this is an eligible zone. It can keep on the charts. But whether it is a tradable or not, other rules will determine whether this is a tradable zone or not a tradable zone. But whatever it is, whether it is tradable or not tradable, but this zone is definitely a valid zone. Why it is a valid zone? Because it is not violated. As long as a zone is not violated, it is a valid zone on the charts. It is a thumb rule. That's it. You have to mark this point. That's why we kept. You may ask a question. Is there any advantages of keeping these zones even though it is not tradable? Yes, advantages are there. One major advantage, your target, suppose a short trade you planned in a supply zone, maybe this could be a target. Because you kept it on the charts, because it is valid, you are able to identify your target. You may not take the trade for trading point of view, but you may use this zone for target point of view. Next chapter you will be learning trend calculations. At the time these zones will help you for calculating the trends based on the zone violation. Some trend calculation rules are there that we will discuss in the next video. Hope you got clarity. So everything is covered in this Nasdaq, but we will see other charts also. This is Bitcoin. Yesterday we have drawn this zone. Is this zone having zone achievement? Yes. See here, we have a rally base drop. This zone violated this zone here. Here you have a supply zone. While this zone is created, the supply zone is completely violated. So that's why it got the zone achievement. Because it got the zone achievement, it is a tradable zone. This is a drop for base candles, rally, follow through candle. What is the strength of this zone? Yesterday we discussed in the lesson 6.2 examples. The strength is excellent. Base candle count, good. Four candles are there. Between 4 and 6 are tradable zone. And its status is good. And also it is having a zone achievement. This rally base drop has been violated. See, this is a pivot. You have a medium size rally candle. You have a drop candle. This is called as a pivot. We don't have any zone. The pivot is also violated. It is also got violated opposing pivot. If it is violated opposing pivot, you can plan, but risk is very high. That's why we are avoiding that. But here we have a zone. We have a base candles. 2 base candles and a drop candle. Actually, some of you may say this is a medium size leg candle. This is a medium size base candle. Sometimes you can keep medium size leg candles also part of the base if the earlier candles are base candles. See, here you have a earlier candle, base candle. You have a medium size candle. Now you got the leg out candle. That's why this medium size also you can keep in the base because of earlier base candle. Suppose earlier base candle is not there, only medium size candle is there. See here, this is a medium size candle, no base candle earlier. So this is called as a pivot. But this one is, I already explained what is a pivot in the previous, in the theory session. So that's why this zone is having two base candles. One is a clear base candle, another one is a medium size, is also part of the base. That's why we are having two candles in the base and then leg out. And this zone is violated, and that's why this zone got the zone achievement. Because it got the zone achievement, it is a tradable zone. That is what happened. Prices came and then prices started moving. Maybe you would have taken a trade here itself. Prices entered. Second time it came, already tested, you won't take trade, but you are already in the trade. You are already in the trade in this candle. That's why you will not be doing any action here. If it is stopped out, you have to exit with stop, no other choice. But here see what happened. Again prices started moving, and whatever the trade you would have taken here, and that trade you would have got profits. Here you have some drops are there. Here you would have exited your trade somewhere here. So this is the profit you would have captured. Okay, anyway, this is a Bitcoin, how zone achievement this zone got. See here. What about this? Is it a valid trade according to the zone achievement? Yes. Why? See here, you have a drop, two base candles and drop. Drop, base, drop. Now drop, base, while creating this rally, this entire zone is violated. This supply zone, let me draw a zone, you will understand. This this drop base rally is completely violated the drop base drop. By violating this supply zone, this demand zone got the achievement, zone achievement. What is that zone achievement? VOZ, violated opposing zone. This supply zone is the opposing zone to this demand zone, opposite side zone. That's why by violating its opposite side zone, it got a zone achievement, violated opposing zone. Because it got this zone achievement, and also it is having a excellent base candle count, and also it is having good strength, because it is not having follow through candle but not sluggish. Prices further moved because of base candle, not a follow through candle but a base candle. So its strength is good, and base candle count is excellent. And is it a fresh zone before prices entered into the zone? Yes, it is a fresh zone. Prices not entered into this zone. Now prices entered into the zone, we got a trade. Now after our trade, we already just took, at the time of taking the trade, the zone freshness is also changed to tested zone. Because it is tested zone, next time you can't take the trade. But see the trade in gold. How after you took the trade, prices were just like that. They were flying. You keep on moving. You would have got a huge profit. Those who took the trade in this zone, because this zone is having zone achievement. That's why calculating zone achievement or understanding zone achievement, understanding zone freshness, it should be a fresh zone. They are very, very important. Next, let us look into silver. See, recently we got a zone here. Rally, base, rally. But is it having any zone freshness? It is tested. As per the zone freshness, can we plan a trade here? See, while this zone rally, base rally is created. there is a supply zone. But this supply zone is not violated. But what about this drop, base drop? This is already violated in here. This rally base drop. But this is again violated using this drop base rally. But this has been again violated. So can we take a trade here? No, you can't take a trade because it is not having any zone freshness. So you would have missed this trade because we don't have clarity. That's why I told, if a zone is not having any freshness, it is an uncertain zone. I'm not saying invalid zone. I'm not saying invalid zone. See, zone not having achievement is an uncertain zone. That means it may work, it may not work. We don't have clarity. We don't have any confirmation. That's why I'm saying it is an uncertain zone, but I'm not saying invalid zone. I'm saying uncertain zone. Better uncertain zone, don't plan the trades. It is not recommended because uncertainty is there. Because zone achievement is not confirmed here, so you can't plan a trade. But is it got the zone achievement? Yes, it got the zone achievement in this candle. See, this rally, 3 base candles and drop is violated now. We have a supply zone. Now in this candle, after this candle, this demand zone got the zone achievement. Now it got zone achievement. Can we plan a trade? Next time when prices reaches here, you cannot plan a trade. Why? Because it is already a tested zone. If it is a fresh zone, you can plan the trade. But it is not anymore fresh, it is already tested. So that's why you cannot plan the trade in this zone. Next time again in future prices reaches to this zone, there are higher chances of this zone violation. It may work if it is a high liquidity zone, but as of now, you did not learn the high liquidity zone concept. That you will be learning only in lesson 21 videos. Okay. But remember, what is the status of this zone? It is a violated zone. Okay, next let us look into this is oil, crude oil. Now you see here, you have a drop base rally. It's a demand zone. But is it having any zone achievement? No, it doesn't have any zone achievement. Oh, yes, it got a zone achievement. Yes, it got. See here, drop candle, you have 3 base candles and a drop candle. Let me draw a zone here. Supply zone. Zone is created. This is a medium size candle. See, if it is a large candle, it could have been again a rally base rally. Because it is a medium size candle, you can't draw the zone. But in this candle, this zone is violated, supply zone. That's why this demand zone got this zone achievement. It got the zone achievement. There is one more demand zone, rally base rally. This is not having a zone achievement. But this is violated, right? Rally base drop. That is, this one is the responsible, rally base rally. This is the responsible. But it is violated. Actually not violated, it is a tested zone, that's why it is violated. Where it is tested? See this candle? Prices went up and this zone is violated. And now again prices came down and picked up the orders. It is tested zone and it again moved up, gave a good profit. See here, already good profit it gave. Up to here prices went. Maybe some supply zone somewhere here pushed the prices again down. Now it is a tested zone, it is violated. You got it? This demand zone. Sorry, I didn't change the color. See, this demand zone gave a trade here. So it is a tested zone. Tested zone can't be traded again. See, that's why it is violated. This is the reason why once a zone is tested, we are not planning trades again. Okay, now we are focusing on this drop base rally. Because this zone is violated, we got actually something wrong. In this candle, zone is violated, not before itself. So it is not having, this drop base rally is not having achievement because this zone is violated before itself. See this candle? Pierced. The zone is pierced. Once a zone is pierced, its opposing side, opposing zone will get the achievement, but not this one. Even though it is completely violated here, but before itself it is pierced. So that is the reason why this drop base rally is not having any zone achievement. It is tested. But we can't plan the trade in this zone. The reason is it is a tested zone, not having any zone achievement. All these reasons are good enough not to plan any trade in this zone. Okay, it looks like if we would have taken a trade, good profit we got. Fine, but it is an uncertain zone based on the zone achievement. So that's why we are avoiding. Next, let us look into another example, Euro and US dollars. Okay. Here we have a drop base drop. Sorry. It's a very good example. Everybody please clearly focus on this concept. Okay, now this is a supply zone. Now here a demand zone is created, rally base rally. Now I'm going to ask you a question, you have to answer. Now this demand zone got the zone achievement. Is this demand zone got the achievement? Just think for a while. No, it did not get the achievement. Why? Because this zone is not violated, but before violation, what happened? A rally to base candles are created here. Let me draw a new demand zone here. See here, small gap is there. Zone is not violated here. You are seeing before this green, above a small red is there. That means prices are not crossed. If the prices would have crossed this distal line, then this demand zone would have got the achievement. But the distal line, prices are not crossed. Before itself, it is holding the prices, a rally to base candles, a rally. This rally base rally got the zone achievement by violating this supply zone. So this one did not get. That's why the immediate, once a zone is violated, the immediate demand zone will be violated. Now you tell me, at the time of this supply zone violation, which is the immediate one? This is the immediate or this is the immediate? The top one is the immediate. So that zone gets the zone achievement. These order flows are responsible for violation of this entire zone. That's why this demand zone is getting the zone achievement. And is it a tradable zone? No, because it is not having zone achievement. But is this demand zone is a tradable zone? Yes, because it is having achievement. Okay. Once the zone is violated in this candle, after that you see in this candle you got the trade. Even in type 2 also you got the trade. You got the trade and then again prices moved until the supply zone and achieved the target. But it is again tested second time, third time, several times this zone is testing. Maybe this could be a high liquidity zone. This concept you will understand in lesson 21. But as per the current concepts, this is the trade you accept and you got the profit. Next time you may not be taking the trades because it is a tested zone. It is not a fresh zone. But once you land the high liquidity zone, you may accept multiple trades. But until then, only one trade you take, first trade. As long as zone is fresh, first at the time prices enter the zone, you take the trade. Once prices entered, it will be changed to the tested zone. Next time again prices are entering, you may not be taking the trades. See how zone achievement is helping us. And this is a pound and US dollars. Okay, let me draw a zone. Here you have a rally, base, rally, follow through candles. But is it having any zone achievement? No. See, here we have a supply zone. This supply zone is not violated by this demand zone. Okay. We have a supply zone. Is the supply zone got the achievement? Yes. Here we have a demand zone is violated here. See here. This demand zone is slightly pierced here. The moment it is pierced, this supply zone is responsible for this complete order flow execution. All the orders are executed. After that, prices went a little below and price again closed inside. So at the time it is a pierced zone. Because it is pierced zone, see, next time easily prices went down. Because all orders are consumed, no more orders. Easily. The moment a zone is pierced, automatically its opposing zone gets the zone achievement. You already learned two important points. If a zone is completely violated, opposing zone gets the zone achievement. If a zone is pierced, its opposing zone gets the zone achievement in either cases. Now in this case, the zone is pierced. The moment zone is pierced, this zone gets the zone achievement as an violated opposing zone achievement it got. The moment it got the violated opposing zone achievement in this candle, let me hide the earlier candles. See here. Here it is violated, pierced. See, it got the zone achievement. Because it got the zone achievement, it is a tradable zone. Not only that, it is a fresh zone. Prices not yet entered into the zone. And two base candles are there. So this is a large candle as a leg-in, two base candles and drop candle. So base candles point of view excellent, and it is having follow through candle. So strength is excellent. And third, it just got in this candle by piercing the zone. It got the zone achievement as a violated opposing zone. That is the third achievement. And the fourth one is this zone is a fresh zone, so that this is a tradable zone. See, next what happened? Prices were started moving up after that. Now price entered into the zone. Here we got a trade. Definitely you can plan a short trade. After that, you see how sharply prices came down. You would have got a huge profit. Up to here prices entered. Maybe somewhere here. Some orders might be here. That's why earlier also see from here prices were starting. Now also exactly prices reached to this point, somewhere this point, and again from there it is moving up. Some zone, but we are not seeing any zone. Once you learn lesson 11 time frames concept, you will understand. Lower time frame zones that might be holding the prices. Maybe that could be a high liquidity zone. Okay, because you are not yet entered into the lesson 11, let us avoid those discussions now. But only thing you should observe, this is having a zone achievement, gave good profit. Even second time also it gave. Maybe it could be a high liquidity zone, we never know. But second time, can you plan the trade? No, because it is not a fresh zone. But it worked very well. Maybe it could be a high liquidity zone. Those concepts, advanced concepts, you will understand only in lesson 21. Now this time you see today, the zone is completely violated. At the time of closing the market, if it is closed above, this zone is a violated zone. Or again prices came back and closed inside, this could be a pierced zone. That we will see only after this candle completes. Currently, we are in the live market, prices are moving. But this supply zone already gave a profit. But what about this zone? Is it having any zone achievement? This demand zone. We have a drop, 3 base candles and a rally candle, follow through candle. See here we have this drop base, drop is violated. That's why this zone got the achievement here. This zone got the achievement. That way we would have taken a trade and slightly pierced. If you are using any stop buffers concept you learn in lesson 18, could be a successful trade. Time being, it looks like you got your stop loss is hit. You would have got losses. But in reality, you will understand in lesson 18 or 19, after learning stop buffers concept, still this trade is a successful trade. Until then, maybe your stop loss is hit in this area. Okay, once this zone is pierced, next time the fall is very sharp. But this new demand zone is created here. Now this is, once a zone is removed, we have to create a new, we have to remove from the charts. Now a new zone is created. Does it got any zone achievement? No. It did not get any zone achievement. Why? Because no supply zones are violated. So is it a tradable zone? No, it is not a tradable zone. Because not having. That's why see, price is gone. They moved a little bit and again came very sharply down. That way you avoided the losses from this zone. And what about the supply zone? Already you got a successful trade here. And this time zone violation, you won't take any trade because it is a tested zone. Because it is a tested zone, you are not planning any trade. See, now the zone is gone. And this is not having any zone freshness. You didn't plan. See, in this candle, this entire zone is gone. It is closed outside. So we are removing from the charts. Now, if you would have looked into all these examples, zones having zone achievement and other parameters are either good or excellent, they all given us good trades. You have seen good examples. Maybe we missed good trades. But we didn't get loss in those zones. Because of uncertainty, we didn't plan trades. But the other ones we planned the trades, they gave good profits. And USD Japanese yen. Is it here, you see, this is acting as a high liquidity zone. Multiple times, same test again and again and again, it is testing. It could be a high liquidity zone. But this zone is a tradable zone. Does it got any zone achievement? See, here we got the zone achievement. See, this is the one violated, this supply zone. But what about this demand zone? Is it violated any supply zones? No, we don't have any supply zones here. See, this is a large candle, no supply zones here. These are also large candles, no supply zones here. Here also we don't have any supply zones. And this is the valid supply zone here. And this supply zone having any zone achievement? Yes. See here, we have drop, 2 base candles, rally. This supply zone violated this entire one. Maybe if you did not convince with this, if you feel, still you feel these are the base candles. Still this is a valid demand zone. See here. And who is responsible for violation of this demand zone? See here, this candle, the zone is pierced. The moment it is pierced, it got the zone achievement. And here completely violated, candle closed. So we will be removing from the chart. But before that, this supply zone got achievement because of this demand zone. You got it? Is this demand zone got any zone achievement? Yes. Here you see a supply zone. Who is responsible for violation of this supply zone? This demand zone is responsible. Is this supply zone got any zone achievement? Maybe here, see here. Here we have a demand zone somewhere here. Rally, base, rally. This demand zone. By violating this demand zone, this supply zone got the achievement. That's why next time prices entered into this supply zone, see, it gave a very good trade. People would have got a very good profit. Now this demand zone is responsible for violation of this supply zone. That's why this demand zone got the achievement. Now let me remove this supply zone because it is completely violated. But before violation, it gave a very good trade because it got the zone achievement. Similarly, this demand zone, rally, base, rally, got the zone achievement by violating this drop, base, drop. So that's why we can plan a trade. But is it a fresh zone so far? Yes. Now when prices entered, here prices first time entered. Now it is a tested zone, but it already gave a good profit. Okay, and because it is a tested zone, next time you see, this zone is violated. Because this zone is violated, already it is a tested zone, you can't plan second time. That's why we are removing it is violated. But this supply zone got this zone achievement. But is it a fresh zone? So far it is a fresh zone. Now prices entered into the zone and it gave you a test here. After that what happened? See, prices gave a trade and it entered into the demand zone. It gave a good profit. Now after that this supply zone is violated. But this supply zone this demand zone got any achievement? No. Not yet. Because it is not having any achievement, you can't plan a trade here. It may work, it may not work. You never know. Uncertainty. Okay. Now it is violated, this supply zone. Who is responsible? This demand zone, not this one. This demand zone is responsible. But it is violated. Why it is violated? Maybe other reasons. It is having zone achievement. Even then it is violated. That means something wrong happened here. What is that wrong? That you will understand in the upcoming lessons once you learn the concepts like trend. Maybe it is not supporting trend, but except this, we have seen so many zones. Even without looking to the trend, we got lot of profits based on the zone achievement, based on the strength of the zone, based on the base candles count, based on tested or freshness or a fresh zone. Based on all these points we got. But this is the first example we are seeing. A zone having achievement is violated. And who is responsible for this zone violation? Maybe some zone might be there. See here, some supply zone here. That could have been responsible. Somewhere here some zone might be there. Or maybe this rally base drop might be responsible. Okay. And this supply zone gave a trade here. But anyway, this one is not having zone achievement, but still what it is doing? Sorry, actually this is having zone achievement. Sorry for the mistake. Here it got the achievement. No. No, this zone achievement is also achieved by this rally base rally only. This rally base rally, not this one. So this is not having achievement. Maybe later candles it might have got any achievement if any supplies are violated here. But anyway, but still it is working without achievement. Maybe it is a high liquidity zone, that could be the reason. But as per the concepts you learned, this is not a tradable zone, not having achievement and also tested zone. But without zone achievement also, high liquidity zones working effectively. No doubt this is a high liquidity zone. But that clarity you get in lesson 21. At the time you understand some zones, special zones, supports multi-testing. Several times the zone will be testing. Without zone achievement also, we are able to plan the trades. Those concepts I explained in lesson 21. I developed a new strategy called my own strategy, high liquidity zone strategy. The most successful strategy. Gave more than 80% success rate for several months. Okay, but otherwise, I hope you got better clarity about understanding what is zone achievement, what is zone freshness, how a zone, opposing zone gets the zone achievement. All these concepts, I hope you got it clear with all these examples. It's a very, very important concept. From now onwards, without zone achievement, you will not be planning any of your trades. Zone achievement must be there to plan your trades. Of course, there is one exemption, that is for high liquidity zones. That you will learn in lesson 21. So this is about this lesson. Hope you all got better clarity about this concept. Let us all again meet in our next lesson. Thank you.